The Fever aren't done making moves, albeit small ones, at this point in the offseason. They're just filling out the roster. But it was noticed that on the WNBA transactions page, there was a new signing posted regarding the Indiana Fever. As you can see, it's right here. Brianna Turner signed a contract with the Indiana Fever Sunday, February 16th, 2025. No idea what the terms of that deal are, whether it's guaranteed, any of those things. But it is a player coming from the Chicago Sky to the Indiana Fever, which is interesting considering, the talk around the Sky and the Fever. And there's also some stuff that Turner has said online that I'll get to in a second. But let's just look at the basketball aspect of this for a second. I believe this is a depth move. This is the kind of move, again, you're shoring up your team. And in Turner, I'm not going to say I'm vividly familiar with her game or anything like that. But from what I've seen, she's a defensive minded big. So you bring in another defensive minded player who's got size to help, make sure that you have all sorts of options, and you always have to deal with different lineups, different opponents, injuries, things that come about in a WNBA season. And this is one of those moves to just make sure that the entire core is strong. Here's just some highlights from Turner last season with the Sky. You're not going to see anything that blows your mind or to that degree, but it's this kind of play that we're looking at, and what I'm talking about here. As you can see, Kennedy Carter gets the rebound. Here goes the other way. There's Turner with the finish. Again, nice screen there for Carter. Little things that help you win games. A big setting a screen. Nothing that's going to jump off the screen, but I think there's another screen, right? Goes up, is able to finish. And she's got some good length. Obviously knows how to play basketball, knows where to move without the basketball. Can hit the boards, can block a few shots, can make the easy bucket. Getting back there in transition. You see her running back, gets into the lane. Good defense there, gets to the spot, contests. Going the other way. So those are the kind of highlights you're going to see from Turner. Not what you would typically consider a highlight, but a player that can help on the full complement of the team, because again, they're filling out the roster here where you already have the big moves have been made. I mean, the foundation was already laid, and then they built around the foundation with DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard and Sophie Cunningham and the other moves that they made this offseason. Now they got to have a full team going into camp. They get rid of Katie Lou, and we'll see how all the money works out. Another small move like that was the Jaylen Brown move, which I haven't talked about much either, because these are players who didn't play all that much. But Brown did send a welcome message to Fever fans the other day saying this.
Hey, Fever fans, it's Jaylen Brown. I just want to say that I'm super excited to be joining the Indiana family, and I can't wait to be surrounded by great players and even better people. Let's get it.
So excited to join the Fever. And when you look at Jaylen Brown's numbers, again, don't jump off the page. She only played 10 minutes a game for the Wings, but she did shoot 48% from the floor. She did shoot 50% from three, albeit a very, very small sample size, but that was interesting to me. And then when you look at Turner, I mean, she barely played at all for the Sky, less than 10 minutes a game. So the numbers aren't going to be there, but these aren't the moves that are supposed to put you over the top. They are the moves that, or I mean, I guess maybe in a way you could say they're the moves that put you over the top, because they allow for, when things go awry, or they allow for specific matchups, or they allow for development and the like. But they're not the moves that, they didn't lead with this move. It was on the transactions page for a reason and not reported out before it really, became public, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. So, and then when you go to her past posts and the like, I'm tired of doing this. I know I had somebody yell at me in the comment section for saying stuff like that. Why do you say you're tired? No one's forcing you to do it. But it is part of the you know, uh, the overall reaction to some of these moves, particularly I mean with Sydney Colson and her history with the Aces and all that. Um, but Bree Turner said also calling out racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, etc. isn't brave. It certainly isn't worth a gold star or praise. It's the bare minimum. To be honest, ignoring, tolerating hate speech is part of the problem because it cultivates a space that enables people to continue their behavior. I don't even know the context of this. I don't know if it has anything to do with Caitlin Clark. Of course, I have no issue with people calling out racism and things of the like. Of course, I have called them out, but it was so misguided to place that at the feet of Caitlin Clark when she had nothing to do with that, and when that wasn't even the real problem with the real problem for the most part, I think, with the WNBA and that discourse was the increase in the number of fans brought an increase in the number of trolls, which brought an increase in the number of stupid ass comments you would see. And then that got totally warped and blown out of proportion by the media, by some of the players, obviously. And I do believe that's in the rear view. I believe this offseason has shown you that's going to be flushed down the toilet. I mean, how many more times can we do the song and dance? Because, and maybe that's part of the reason Caitlin said what she said in the Time interview, too, right? Like, there's literally nothing else you can ask for from her. And now we've seen so many players line up to join the team. Some of this is just business, who's going to wind up paying them, of course. But when you join the Fever, you got a chance to win the championship. You got a chance to get better endorsement deals. You got a chance to increase your popularity, get a chance to play off of Caitlin Clark, who's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. And the other players, obviously Kelsey and Aaliyah and now Dawana and Natasha, like a stacked squad of proven players, vets, leaders, people who have been there and done that and won that. So it's an appealing situation. And I believe we'll be completely shutting the door on the not. You can never shut, just like with the internet trolls, what I said about the trolls, you can never completely shut the door on that because they're going to surface in a myriad of ways. But as that being like some driving force of discourse, I would hope that's out the door. And I think we've already sort of seen the tone shift a little bit. So I'm not going to spend too much time reliving or rehashing those moments. It's the front office's job to put together the best basketball team. And I believe with the people that they have there, it's going to be a team that comes together and has each other's back. But this is just the latest in a long line of moves for the Fever this WNBA offseason.